Hey friends, happy Friday, the 26th of November. I'm Father Bill Hill, one of the parish priests of Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. It is a joy to be with you. If everything goes well, I'm down in Denver with my family, a little bit of last night and today, and then I'll travel again tomorrow morning to be back in time for Saturday sacraments. But I hope that you might be enjoying a little bit of rest and downtime. Maybe pray for people that are actually working in these days. If you are a Black Friday person, make sure that you are full of compassion and kindness and love, especially towards those who are serving in these days. All right, I will give you a daily reflection, and then I'll invite you to read the readings prayerfully and turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. We're still working on our parish financial stewardship commitment cards. There's a link on the side as well as a link to the color pamphlet, United in God's Love. Just asking that every household in the parish would return one of those commitment cards, commit to each other, commit to God. It is because of the shared generosity of our faith community that we as a community exist and that we are able to continue all of the ministries that we do. All right. We are nearing the end of this time of Daniel and Luke's gospel as well. Daniel, as always, I'm linking the introduction. I invite everybody to read that out of the Catholic Bible, the New American Bible. Try to understand that this is apocalyptic genre, not prophecy, not prediction, not wisdom. It is a separate genre of the apocalyptic tradition. It's written at the time of the persecutions of King Antiochus Epiphanes IV, who actually is referenced in this passage, the one who was trying to push Greek culture and religion down the throats of Jewish people in Palestine in the 2nd century. And it's a message of hope. King Antiochus Epiphanes IV is described as the horn had eyes like a man and a mouth that spoke arrogantly. That's describing himself as the manifestation of God, using the title Epiphanes in his own name. We have the descriptions of kingdoms, and again, these would be Babylonians and Medes and Persians, and then the Greeks. Notice that they are all predators, that they are all violent. Leopards, lions, bears, and then a beast so terrible it can't be described, but it had great teeth and horns, and it sounded like marching feet, like Greek hoplites marching across the entire known world. Terrifying. And compared to that is the Ancient of Days who gives power and anoints the Son of Man. And this will be a title that Jesus takes up. But the Son of Man is not a bear. It's not a lion. It's not a leopard. It's not a great beast. It's a human. It's one like us. It allows the human life to flourish. That's a bit of what's being played with here and spoken of, that the reign of God, the wisdom of God, is such that it allows the human family to flourish. If you feel like you've been torn apart by a bear, by a lion, by a leopard, by a beast that can't be named, take solace in God, who created you to be a human and who speaks to you words of humanness and care and compassion. That's what this passage is getting at. I will point out that beast language and the horns, the beast that has no name. Obviously, if you're familiar with the book of Revelation, you can hear those resonances and the way that image gets developed all the more to describe Rome and the persecution of Rome a couple of centuries later. As we're praying with this, perhaps we would simply be rooted in the practices and the relationships and our love for God that help us to be human and not just another cog in the machine, not just worried about other things, but instead allow us to be as we are. Flaws, sins, grace, love. That's some of that Son of Man sort of language. Luke's Gospel. When you see the buds burst open, you know that summer is near. Remember, this is right in the midst of all of the apocalyptic predictions of the end. But Jesus is reminding us, we aren't worried about this world. In the language of Paul, our citizenship is in heaven, right? For people who are living for justice, for compassion, for mercy. We're concerned about this world, but our focus and our expectation is that the fullness of that revelation is to come when the buds burst open. For many of us, perhaps all of us, that will be at the end of our lives as we come into the fullness of the reign of God. Don't be afraid. Don't just hold on to this life and this world, but instead know that God is taking care of everything. That's the hope of the apocalyptic vision that gets echoed in Luke's gospel in these days. All right, friends, happy Friday, especially if you have some time off. Maybe time for rest and recreation. Let's continue to be praying for members of our parish, loved ones, family members, and friends who have passed, that they might know mercy and rest and compassion and love in God. Let's be praying for each other. Let's be praying for folks that struggle and suffer. God bless you, friends.